Hi, Jenna Harchin here, licensed psychologist and owner of Emotionally Nourished Therapy. Today, I just want to talk a little bit on what emotional nourishment is and its opposite, emotional malnourishment or emotional deprivation, or even existential grief. So first, I want to start with an example from my own life. So when I was opening up my practice, I really wanted to implement an idea. I have a few musicians and songs that really speak to me. And I love quotes because oftentimes they really speak to me. However, I'm not a musician, I'm not a writer, and most of the time, I can't tell you who those quotes were from, or, I can't tell you a Taylor Swift song or, um, a book from a famous author. I don't have that knowledge. So I had two sides of me speaking. One was the emotional nourishment side. In my soul, everything in my heart and soul said, Jana, these songs and these quotes have been so impactful for you. I would love to use this as part of my work to see if it impacts others, because I think these songs and quotes speak to, the healing process. It speaks about the pain of humanity. It speaks to the disconnect between where you currently are and where you want to be, and many other things that can be so relatable and so inspiring. So that part of me said, Jana, do it. This is so exciting. It's going to be amazing. And even thinking about it helped me feel fulfilled and helped me feel alive and connected. However, there was another side of me, the more emotionally malnourished side. And that side was the story that I was telling myself. Jana, because you're not a musician, because you're not a writer, because you can't name, popular writers and musicians, you're not qualified. Or because you're new at creating content and you don't know technology well and yada, 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 you shouldn't do it. You can't do it. And I have to tell you, that dialogue, listening to that dialogue was really painful and made me feel small, unfulfilled, and just not great. And one of the things that I say that I work with is existential grief, or that disconnect from yourself, for whatever reason that it might be. And I will tell you, I was experiencing that existential grief when I was nourishing that message or really focusing on that message. And around the same time, I was thinking that I was watching a baby who was just about getting ready to learn how to walk. He knew how to stand very, very briefly. And he was getting ready to take a step, but then he'd fall down. And witnessing him, I felt like that was the perfect illustration of holding both sides of the emotional nourishment and the emotional malnourishment that we might feel. You have the potential inside of you, or you have the ideas inside of you, but you're having a hard time getting there, or removing the barriers. And it's a process, it's a journey. And that baby will likely soon walk. However, he wasn't there yet. He at least had the desire, the motivation, and the prerequisite skills to start venturing into that skill. And the same is true for me as I do this. And the same will be true for you, regardless of what you are thinking of. So I'm focusing a lot on, in this example, internal barriers, but I also recognize that we can feel that existential grief or emotional malnourishment for other reasons. A big life event happening to you and knocking you off your feet, and now you're feeling lost and uncertain of where to turn or who you are. And that can be devastating too, as well. You didn't choose to be in that place, and yet the process is still somewhat the same. It is looking at the emotions, the thoughts, and understanding, having space for those emotions and those thoughts, allowing the sadness, the pain, the fear, the grief, the hopelessness to be there, honoring those emotions, honoring your current situation, and then slowly but surely being that baby, taking a step, lifting your foot off, moving in the direction that you want to go in at the pace that you can go in. Maya Angelou has a quote, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it." So let me ask you, what are the defeats that you are grappling with? What are the reasons why you might be feeling unfulfilled, broken, lost, and not emotionally nourished? What is keeping you from being emotionally nourished? If you would like, together we can work with where you are at and work together to help you get to where you want to be. So feel free to give me a call at 856-208-7225 or send me an email, and I'd be happy to set up a consultation call with you. Thank you so much and have a great day.